Hey, this is Phil Lilley, Lilley's Landing Resort and Marina on Lake Taneycomo. Going to do one cast this evening. Whoop. Same scenario. They just they're shutting the water down now. They've been running 4 units, running a bunch of water, and all afternoon. Fishing was pretty good today. It's real good early. Dwayne and I got out this morning. We got at the boat ramp up below the dam at we were there at 5:15 and started fishing as it started getting a little bit daylight, and we didn't catch very good in the beginning, but once it started getting a little bit light, we started catching quite a few. He was throwing that. he was throwing a stick bait. I'm not sure what it was as far as the brand. It was a smaller one because with no water running, the water is really shallow up there. Probably the deepest water we fished was 5 feet below the ramp, but above the ramp, it's I'd say 2 to 3.5 feet. Not a lot of water at all. You can see the water is just barely moving now. So it's going to kind of take me forever to get down to the dock. But I caught 24 trout. I caught 1 small brown and the rest rainbows. My biggest was about 17 inches. We saw a lot of fish. There's actually quite a few walleye in the ramp area, and we saw white bass up there. Didn't see any real big rainbows. We saw a couple in the 22 inch range. Didn't see any big browns. We fished all the way up to the rebar big hole area, and then we turned around and came back, and then we fished up it a little bit and came back down. All with the trolling motor in his boat, and had a good time, but just didn't catch anything big. We were after big fish. Try throwing that 32nd ounce sculpin and ginger jig, 2-pound line. That's what I caught almost all the fish on this morning. I did try white, and I tried black and olive, and didn't do as well. He threw a jig a little bit, but he threw that mega bass. It wasn't a mega bass, it was another type of stick bait. I do want to keep calling it a mega bass, but mega bass, my understanding, mega bass go too deep for that water up there. What he was throwing was a suspended white suspending stick bait that only went about 1 foot deep. He caught about the same amount of trout, most of them on the mega bass. Okay, I'm ready to cast. See if I can catch a fish on the first cast. Kind of want to get away from the bank a little more. There was a bite. He should come back. He didn't hit it that hard. Come on. It's going to be like last night. I'm all the way to the boat. Nothing. I did get just a small bite. It was enough. I thought he'd just stay with it till he got it, but he didn't. I'll cast a few more times. There's no way I'm gonna drift all the way down to the dock at this speed. We had a young gal and her dad stay with us earlier part of the week, and Dwayne brought her by the office. He helped them with their fishing. They rented a boat and went out, and her name was Rowan Bell, and he brought her into my office after they went fishing, and there was a bite. Introduced me to her. She watches one cast, I guess, every day. And Dwayne said that these trout that she caught them right up here, close to this, where the pipe was dumping in stuff earlier in the week. And those were her first trout she'd ever caught. And real nice young lady. Her dad was really proud. This weekend is free fishing weekend in Missouri. You don't need a trout stamp or a fishing license, and there's a lot of activities in different parts of the state. I know St. Louis, they have a lot of fishing activities, outdoor activities. Springfield does. We do down here. The Bass Pro Shops, they do a bunch of stuff down at the landing. And the Missouri Department of Conservation at the hatchery, they have a kids fishing day where they stock one of their stocking ponds with usually it's catfish and big bluegill, and they have different stations that teach the kids how to identify fish and tie knots and cast a rod and reel, cast a fly reel if they want to. But it's all part of trying to get kids more involved in fishing. The statistics are, if a kid doesn't learn to fish when he's young, chances are he won't learn in his later years in life. And we are losing our numbers of fishermen and hunters nationwide. Less and less people are enjoying this sport that we're blessed with, and so it's just a good way to introduce fishing to kids. And I'll be at the hatchery. It's up Low Table Rock Dam on Saturday helping. That's from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Ooh, there's a fish. They usually catch a bunch of big bluegill. They put some big old, what do they put in? Red ears. It's a warm water tank, so they don't put trout in. The line's gonna break. That's a nice trout. Whew. Well, that was close. He's heavy. I bet you he's £1.25 pounds. £1.5. It's a big fish. Last cast. I'm about halfway to the dock. When they shut that water off this evening, they shut her off. Last night about this time, the water's still moving pretty good. You gotta be real careful if you're gonna, I can see him down there jumping at my jig. Come on. If you're gonna go up there and fish below the dam like we did, putting your boat in at the boat ramp, and come on. you about can't use a bigger motor if you have like a 15 or a 25 horse or something like that. You can tilt it up and you can get around up there, but otherwise there's too many shallow spots and big rocks up there. I did say that in my last cast, didn't I?